Pretty good.
Right.
It wasn't on the city's website, it was posted as a city.
Mr. Abernathy needs to.
You wanna go over that or?
No problem.
Just for careful.
Okay. All right. I got both.
What am I signing?
I'll get with you after.
Over here. What kind of grant?
Got to do it Bollinger's. Got to do 60 BG's, got to do it Bollinger's, adding more asphalt to the asphalt.
How you doing?
Sounds good.
Sorry to do this to you, but he didn't have to give you anything. I mean, that's on.
Well, let me hit one of these other jokers, if I get enough, I'll give
2,000 is what I need. I ain't gonna take it. 'cause
That's
I can't
about what
pay
I
it
needed.
back.
You doing all right?
Pretty good, man. Pretty
Let
good.
me look.
Hey, you still married?
Yeah.
Yeah? Get that all straightened out?
No.
No,
Straight now.
you just still doing it, right?
Hey, I'm still there.
I hear you.
You might run me off anytime.
Do what?
Get that.
Might run me off anytime.
Right. That would be it.
Need assistance in finding a railroad served site. Our industrial development team, our team is available to work for you, real estate use.
He said it should be able to give you some kind of contact info off of that.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Are you working tomorrow? I mean,
I'll be here.
okay.
Does anybody want to sign up for unscheduled public?
I said, thank you, sir. I mean, ma'am.
Is that what I was signing up for?
No. Does anybody want to sign up for unscheduled public hearing?
The rest of it is gonna be a long meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sign up for both now. No. We're talking about the council meeting. This is for the council.
Oh,
Yeah, I can go ahead, okay. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to sign this? Anybody still need it? Okay. So my name is Scott Hardy. I work at Eastern Oklahoma Development District in Muskogee. We're the local, what they consider council of government. We cover 7 counties. One of the things that we do is community and economic development. I'm the executive director there, but currently also doing most of our, or a lot of our grant programs. The reason for this hearing before the city council meeting, and we're on the agenda as well. It's just part of the requirements. The city of Wagner has requested our assistance in applying for what's called a community development block grant. We refer to it as CDBG. It's through the Department of Commerce. One of the things, there's a lot of, with those grants come a lot of stipulations and rules. Some of that, we're required to have a public hearing. That's why we try to schedule it before the meeting, not just during. We'll talk a little bit about it during the council meeting when it comes our turn on the agenda, but we try to open it up for any questions people have about the particular grants or anything. The other thing, we have posting requirements. This was posted, I believe, on the 21st of February. According to Commerce, they have pretty strict guidelines about how many places you have to post it at. It was, I think the minimum is 3. We posted it in 4 locations in town. And then we basically, on the agenda tonight are a couple of things. One is a resolution, basically, that the council would vote to approve to apply for the application, and then we'll get that process going. And then also part of that is what they call the community participation plan, and basically it outlines what the city, as far as kind of a process if people have questions, and as a grant administrator, when we work on grants, we're generally there as part of that process to answer any questions people have, things of that nature. The particular grant that's being applied for is what's called a community revitalization grant. It's kind of a broad-based and covers, can include different things, but in this particular situation, we were asked to apply for, to do street paving, basically repave a section of streets. There's some guidelines that go along.
So they can hear you on the live stream.
Okay. There's some guidelines that go along with that. But essentially, I think the project that we're looking at is in the Bollinger edition. That's the streets. Now, I know people will say, well, there's other streets. One of the things, and we ran into this, we would love to do all the streets that possible, but you have to do with Commerce, they only allow you to do one project at a time. So you have to make choices about where you want to do that. We even were looking at trying to add some streets to that, but the streets essentially have to connect in order to be considered a project. So we picked that area. We're in the process of doing the application now. I believe March 29th is the deadline for us to have the application turned in. And then generally a month or two, they'll let you know if you've been approved. It's a competitive grant, so there's a lot of things they factor in. That's essentially it. I mean, we're in the very beginning stages. We're required to have a first public hearing. Now, if it's requested or we're chosen to be the grant administrator, which at this point, what we do as far as filling out the application, there's no charge for that. I mean, we do that for lots of communities. Sometimes those grants get approved, sometimes they don't. Now, at some point, we also are the grant administrator of the city, town, entity, whoever chooses, or, and then we have a contract with them. If we do that, then through that process, there's a lot of different things the grant administrator is responsible for as far as payroll reports, turning all that stuff into Commerce. We'll come out every so often when there are, basically they'll pay down parts of the grant. We'll come out and when they have those items on the agenda, answer any questions people have. Of course, our office in Muskogee, if people have questions otherwise, they're more than welcome to call us and we'll answer any of those questions. Does anybody have any questions right now?
How did the Bollinger edition, how did they choose that name?
I can't answer that. As the person writing the application, we essentially, with any town or community that we work with, they pick the project. So
Is there someone here that could?
We looked at some of the areas of the city that had some of the worst asphalt in conjunction with the street department. That was the location that was deemed to be the most necessary to add into that conversation. So that's how we chose in conjunction with our engineering firm and the asphalt grading that we do with the asphalt process throughout the city every year. We will also be having to do a survey, Scott, you might touch on.
yes. So for every project that Commerce does, whether it be a town or city, or in this particular case, projects generally fall into kind of two categories. You have some projects, and we completed a project here in Wagner. We wrapped that project up I think we came for the final hearing in July, but we had finished that project in May, I think, and it was had to do with lift station, I believe, and that was a project that affects the entire town. So they look at what they call LMI, which is a low to moderate income. Every project, the beneficiaries of that project have to be at least 51% what they consider low to moderate income, and they have basically a scale that they give us. And so because it was a townwide project, we could go off of that percentage. In this particular case, because it's more of a localized, which a lot of projects are, we've got a project with another town, they were wanting to do part of a sewer line, and it only affected a certain area of town. In this situation, the roads have to be connecting, and it's just in a certain spot. Then we have to survey the people that are going to benefit from that program. So, or we have to have a survey, find out if they meet that LMI. It's an individualized survey. and that's part of the process. Any,
When Mr. Elam says we looked at it, and who is we and who made that final decision on Bollinger? And is any of that information in the board packets?
There's 90-plus houses in that addition, a lot of dead ends, a lot of cul-de-sacs. Most of the time, we do the roads that go all the way through instead of dead ends, and everything out there is in need of repair, and they all have to touch, all the roads have to touch, and that's a good place to do the project, in my opinion.
So that's we, is this we, and who decided on Bollinger? The city staff or
Yes,
council or
sir.
the mayor?
Thomas, as street superintendent.
How much money, has any money been spent already on engineering to look into this project? I know on grades you have to do some pre-work. He said something about engineer. Has any money been spent already?
I'm on the city engineer, and we went through this, and I talked to Scott, and we all spoke about this project.
For me, for the infrastructure.
That's correct.
I don't need a chair. Space, maybe.
I got a question. Is
Sure.
there a quote for the cost of engineering yet? Or is it too early for that?
I have a estimate, what are you asking for?
I was wondering if there had been a quote given for the engineering on this project yet, or if it was too early for that.
Well, to complete the project's around $25,000.
Thank you.
But yes, it is a preliminary quote.
and that's one of the things that's required by Commerce is to have kind of preliminary engineering. It's typically fairly basic, just kind of an outline, a map or two, that sort of thing.
Is there, have we said how much the amount of funding that's being asked for is?
We have not determined that. The max that can be asked for on a CR, what we call CR, Community Revitalization Grant, is that particular category, the max is $300,000. But as I said, it's very competitive. So depending, most entities, when we go into these kind of projects, there'll be some leverage funding. You try to hit the right balance of what you ask for compared to what you're going to leverage. But I was talking to, and we, kind of the sort of liaison or the middle people between the entities and Commerce. And I was talking to them earlier today to get some details on this worked out. And they said, she wanted me to know, we talked about leverage and how much would be required. So this is not a set amount, but it's a very, very competitive, the way that they score it. And last year, between the entity that got a grant and the next one that didn't, there was like 0.4 points between them. That's how close it was. So that's one of the things that they consider in leverage.
What about matching funds? Are matching funds required from the city?
That's what would be considered the leverage, yes.
Is that 50/50?
No, there's no set percentage or like 1-to-1 or anything on this particular grant. There are a couple of grant programs out there that have certain match requirements, but there's not a match requirement per se on this one. And I will say that for CDBG, that's how a lot of towns of this size and smaller, there's a couple of different main types of grants, and CDBG is one of them that they use pretty regular to do those kinds of projects.
I still got questions. You said community revitalization grant. Is that the REAP grant, R-E-A-P, or is that a different?
No, that is
Several.
that's a different grant. Yes, we also do REAP grants at our office. Yes, we administer those as well.
Because I think it might say REAP on some of the documents that are in the board packet, so I was wondering if that was a typo or
Well,
it's confusing.
I can look at that. I mean, I didn't put the agendas. together or anything.
Well, there was just some confusion because I had looked at the REAP and, it had some population requirements.
Yes.
And the deadlines were different and so.
Wagner does, so, and it's possible, there is a CDBG REAP out there, but no, this is not it. And you are right on the REAP, there are, population requirements, and Wagner does not qualify under REAP.
I just want to make sure that the documents that are going to be signed don't say the wrong grant on them, so that might be.
Okay,
Whatever you sent me is what went in the.
okay.
So I.
This is it right here.
Randy, you have to pull that.
Well, it does look like I did send a community development block grant. The citizen participation plan is under, the title does say REAP, but it is a CDBG-CR grant. So that is certainly my mistake, because I am the one, I wasn't sure what you were referring to, but that particular resolution, I am the one that printed those up, so.
If you don't get as much money as you need to pay for these streets, what are you gonna do? What if you need $500,000, you get 200,000, and now the project needs.
Well, I can tell you this, the way that commerce works for the most part is no monies are spent until there's an award. So, I mean, they would know going in how much the award is going to be, and then they go through the bid process. I mean, they can, they're not gonna typically, I think there are some, maybe some exceptions, but generally speaking, the amount that it's awarded, but nothing is, it's not one of those things where they start spending money and then they find out they didn't get all the award. It doesn't work like that. For the project, they cannot spend a single penny until it's awarded. And it's awarded as a whole project. I mean, it's not just, we're gonna award you this and then you just come up with whatever else. Like when the project is awarded, the leverage has to be secured. That's just part of the whole project.
CDBG grant. Open for citizen participation.
If anybody did not sign in, please sign in.
Oh, this is for our meeting, but that's what it is, though.
Anybody like to sign up for
It's in
unscheduled
the
public
agenda?
hearing?
Page 1 of 3. Well, it's in the agenda, but
Okay, here it
we're
is.
really, this is a public. This is something. I don't want to speak. Back and forth.
Right? It'll be all right.
Do what now? Well, I think they, what am I doing here? And I just walked in here. I couldn't even tell you handed something to me. Here we go.
Yeah, Jimmy needs to sign it.
I'm signing.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll fill the blanks in later. Fill the blanks in later.
That's one of the things they have to
That's
have.
what the biker says.
That's right.
Sign the line.
Just sign it and I'll get your money to you.
You have not signed in, please can I get you to sign in with this green?
That's just something public.
Okay. But all
As long as the public knows it's okay, I'm okay. I'm dealing with another meeting. As long as
need to tell him to pour in 5 now too.
having to do it.
Pour in 5.
The rest of the year, we
You gonna hit it?
You, Craig, come in here and sign
Yeah.
American request.
Not a problem.
You get this.
Can I ask another question, or are we still doing this, or are we done?
Yeah, I believe it's going till 7.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. The papers that they got that have the wrong name on them, are those just little forms that you fill out, or are they grant specific, and we'll need to look at it again to make sure?
So they are a form, that it is a fillable form on Commerce. Basically, the blanks are in there for the city of Wagner in there. And I can honestly tell you that it's the same form I used on another entity, and theirs was a CDBG REIT, and I did change the title. But everything in there is
It's
the
the
same,
same?
yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it can't be changed, only the fillable spots when you put in city of Wagner.
Ms. Brinker, did you want to sign
Dude,
in?
I do for fun. I do like mine.
Oh, she said no. That gentleman right there.
It's a lady out there.
There might be one back, Mr. Chelsea. Did you sign in? Would you like this for the green? I don't know that it matters. For asphalt. Hey, Red, can I get you to sign in on that?
I found him.
Oh, you already got it? Yeah, she's got it.
Candace, I'm gonna stand over here by you.
And then they're all right.
No, I'm good. Pretty good. What about yourself?
Just that I was here.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Just a little question, it's actually not for you, sir.
Okay.
I
Even
did
better.
notice that I went around looking for notices of the public hearing and eventually found all of them. Why was this not put out on the mass notification system or on the website or on Facebook about this hearing? I didn't see it. If it was on there, I didn't see it. So, I mean, we did the bare minimum, but I don't think that's good enough. I just wanna know why it wasn't put out there. If anybody has that answer.
Worthless.
Correct that way? I don't know.
What was the question? Why didn't you go out with mass communication?
And on the website, or Facebook, so that more people would know. I mean, I realize it's not required.
This is okay?
You know, 2024.
Huh?
I'm the one hurting.
You're hurting. Why?
It's hurting. I slipped and fell on that ice the other day.
Oh my God,
Got my
really?
back.
Why didn't you call me?
Good.
Obviously you're not.
It didn't bother me for 3 days. It was just ridiculous. What the heck going on? Yo.
Sir? This is for a grant.
You doing okay?
For a grant.
You looking good. You trimmed that beard, sir. You trimmed that beard.
7 o'clock.
You ain't that
7
pretty.
o'clock. Eric Johnson. Big baby.
Does anybody else want to
Pick 'em
sign
up.
up for unscheduled public hearing?
You say that now.
Kevin.
I hurry up and type.
I don't wanna fight my way through that. That's all right.
You see how fast I put it back in.
Right.
Thank you. Give me for what?
To sign it?
This time. Nope. Did you sign in?
But why do we have a second? Why is there a second? Why is this here? That's
That one, it must be his.
Down, there's some writing down there that said Sutherland.
I got that one. Yeah, I did.
Do what? Oh, buggy.
Doing all right?
Got me.
Jimmy,
Feeling
Jimmy, Jimmy.
Yeah, it took me a few weeks to get over COVID. It took me a while. That was a tough one.
But, boy says it's tough kitty, hard to sack. Tough kitty, but it's hard to sack. Because got by it.
I got back.
Got by it.
The harder part has been there's not enough hours in the day.
Oh, that's all right.
I figured out.
Just think we started off, get out of the way a little bit. I don't know if we've met or not.
What's your name?
Scott Hardy.
Hardy?
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Thank you. Larry? Oh, yeah, I know Larry.
Raised him from a pup. You hear that?
Hey, how are you?
Here. How you doing?
Pretty good.
I've seen him somewhere.
How
you doing?
Good. Kayla's pen.
Kind of where I went back to wear a dress in here and freeze my legs off. And you know, I got one headlight, one dim. That's what I told him at work today. I said, God, it's cold. I said, one is on high beam, it's on low beam.
Okay.
I meant to take this to church Sunday and give it to him. I forgot all about it.
Yep. I kind of got in on the tail end of it. Yeah.
All this paperwork.
And similar personalities too, I've always thought. Very similar personalities.
Now, you know, get me a pen. That was in mine. I didn't take yours. That's okay. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Right.
Some people outside. What's up, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler? Word up? Jimmy?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, look at, I'm looking at all, my mind's not here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look.
Maybe we can do lunch
Hey, I
next
flew
week.
in
You
from
think?
Tulsa. Man, you know I take radiation treatment. Okay. Well, I went last week twice. It's a woman who works there. Her last name Ema. At the radiation cancer clinic.
We can always do a dash and run.
So I was there and I kind of like turned my head and I'm like, I don't think I've been here too long on here. And then they said, oh, we had to do it twice. Our computer messed up.
Huh?
Like, I was like, I was getting peed off. No, it don't sound good. So when this, I don't know
I've been
who to
praying
call
extra
from
hard.
Dallas or check on it. I told them about it. They said,
You didn't come to my
they
church.
complained about
You
it.
didn't come hang out
And they
at my
also
church.
said that they canceled people's radiation appointments. I'm like, they ain't canceled mine because I'm at 4 o'clock. So I leave work at 3:30.
Y'all over at United now, aren't you?
He wanted to go there. He went there and she loved
I'll get out of your way. How you doing?
I like going there. It's a good church. It's good people.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Very good people.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Got treatment over there.
Sorry,
It went good.
yours?
Except when I go tomorrow, I have to take this off.
Oh, yep.
He told me I can't take it off because I pull my skin off.
Yep.
So he said he has to do it.
You good?
It don't look good. I hate it.
I won't be here tomorrow. Huh? We'll be on the street down there holding a sign. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta know. I went to Broken Arrow and walked around for a while, so Saturday evening. Found a barbecue place down there. It's a pretty good barbecue.
Really? Really, where at?
Little bitty place. On 71st Street, west.
I'm good.
I'd have to look it up and tell you. Can't remember the name. But sitting in there waiting on my food, people sat down at the table, we got to talking about it, so.
Huh. There you go.
Let's put it on mute.
Hello, Mr. Patrick. How are you doing?
Good. What was that?
You want a handshake, you want a kiss.
No, I can't give any of those away.
Hey, your little girl is tearing it up.
Harper, yeah, she's doing it.
Typically,
Proud of her.
Yeah, she's doing good.
There's a group that sent that out. You people pay for a lot of that with their own money.
active process.
I mean, sitting there, got to take pictures, send out like Canada did, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same
I'm not
business
saying
on
we
the other
don't.
side.
Yeah,
Find out tomorrow.
Feed store.
I went to Broken Arrow, I know the business owners, I
I'm
talked
not
to.
saying don't do it.
Yeah, I haven't had any.
You're
like,
here.
I've been,
And I got you started and going
it hasn't, you know, they're asking me, you know.
I talked to one guy that didn't know, we sat there and talked about it, he goes,
Hey.
that's not the stuff they're putting.
Let's talk about it.
And I said, that's what it is.
I got 7 o'clock. Everybody ready? I'd like to call the City of Wagner regular business meeting, March 4th, 7 o'clock. Have Brother Bruce Vonwald here from Church of God to lead us in prayer.
With all these people there, let's take an offering. Let's a word of prayer. Bow our heads and our hearts. Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for all your goodness. We thank you, Lord, for your love and your mercy. We thank you, Lord, for this city that you allow us to live in and to be a part of. We ask, God, that you would bless this council meeting tonight. We pray, God, that you would grant wisdom, give understanding, help people, Lord God, that, Lord, to be able to deal with things in a fair and in a kind manner. And Lord, may the very attributes of Christ be demonstrated through our lives tonight. Lord, watch over each one, keep each one safe. Lord God, continue to bless the city of Wagner. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
By the way, go blue.
Go Bulldogs.
Go ahead, Bob.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the camera's not working?
Oh, that's something
Oh,
else.
okay.
Item number 3, approval or correction to the minutes, February 5th, 2024.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Please call the roll.
Leonard,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Item number 4, approval or denial of claims. City to include numbers 153 through 169, manual warrants. Ambulance to include numbers 91 through 104, manual warrants. Economic Development Fund, numbers 42 to 43, and City Capital Projects, number 8 and number 9.
I need to ask the question, which is, I should have asked last week when I noticed it. The park and recreation, the city utility is like 1872, and then we have the pool utility is 1406. What lights is utilized in the pool electric, and what is utilized?
Well, we got outside lights, and that's not included in it. Also inside, we've got we have a heater that goes in there and all that, and it's electric heater with gas, and we have to keep that in the winter time. We have to keep that from freezing everything up. All the journals and all that, we can't drain them, and the valves, we can't drain the valves, because you gotta have air to push it through, and it's just not worth the effort, so we try to protect it, okay?
Okay, I was just curious. I was looking at the utility bills and I'm like, well, that's kind of high. And also, one more question I need to ask. On the museum, we spent $330 almost on the 12-inch ladder. Do we not have a ladder that we could use? Or is it something that we had to have?
It's a 12-foot.
12 foot.
12 foot.
Foot ladder?
Yeah, we had ladders, but we needed one to do that, so I don't know who bought it. It wasn't me, but somebody else, but I heard them talking that they needed a 12-foot ladder. We can't carry it from one department to the other. It needs to be left there. And when we buy a ladder, we have to buy a good one because it's much liability.
They kept borrowing a 12-foot ladder from one of my guys, so he kept having to go get it.
Copy.
Yeah, all the time.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Mr. Peters.
Any further discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve all claims. Second.
Motion and second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Item number 5 is the mayor's report.
Start with Employee of the Month. Up first will be Nanette Stanley.
Congratulations, Annette.
Next will be Amanda Franks.
What department did they work in? Each one of them?
Miss Franks is with the library,
Okay.
and then Nanette is with Public Works.
Nanette is a billing clerk at the Public Works.
Okay, thank you.
Rhonda, I might need to steal your mic. I'm
Sure.
gonna let Kristen speak on the mass communication system.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Y'all doing all right tonight? Yeah, good. Well, I am excited that our mass notification system is live. So you will each be getting these in your bills. You can also come see us to sign up. You can take one of these home to sign up and bring it back to us. There's a form for you to fill out in here. If you don't want to do anything with technology, you do not have to do that. We will help you sign up that way. Or if you are into technology and you're okay with signing up on your phone, you can scan this QR code, or you can also go to the link in our post on Facebook or on this brochure. Like I said, these are all going out in utility bills. We are also going to put something, where's Pam at? We're going to put something on the electronic bills as well, so you can find out information about that. We have some postcards up here that will tell you a little bit more about it too. And as always, you can call us and we can even sign you up over the phone. So basically what it's going to have and offer is there's going to be 2 different types of notifications that you can sign up for. The first one is emergencies, which will be water leaks, power outages, road closures, emergencies, things like that. The general notifications will be for city meetings. Like, for example, we sent out an invite tonight to let you know that we had city council meeting, city events, things like that. Also, once a month, I will share the community calendar in a text message, and that way that gives all organizations an opportunity to share your links and your events with the community. So if you have any questions about this, you can either get with Lori or me, and we would be happy to answer them for you. I encourage you to take one of these brochures home, one of these flyers. You can sign. So say you have somebody that lives in California. They can sign up as an alternate contact as well and get notifications when you get notifications, so that if you have like an elderly mother or father that you want to know what's going on, they can also do that. And we can help you guys take care of that. So any questions, just get with us and we'll get you signed up, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys all better sign up.
Already signed up.
I'm already
I think
ready.
we have like 375.
Yeah, they don't have to live in the city limits, right?
No, you
Yeah. Thank you. Next, want to talk about the parks. We have all the swings up at Lincoln, North Courts, and Dunbar from donation from Mr. Fox from Real Steel. Mr. Peters, you might have to help me. We've got the mulch,
Yes,
and
we got some of the borders. We got that Friday. I sent you an email where you got it. The other playground equipment will be here. They're shipping it the 7th. I got an email today, and I also sent you an email.
Okay.
Forwarded it to you. So that's what we got.
Fantastic. Want to tell you and your guys, thank you for getting that brush and stuff cleared up over at North Courts. That looks a lot better. Yeah. And also for helping clean up the baseball field when they called. I know that was real short notice. I appreciate that.
They still need to run a tiller over 3 of the fields. We only got 2 of them.
I believe they told you, didn't they, Beth, that they're going to do those other 2.
It's supposed to be done last week, that's what I was told.
So.
Well, they only did 2. They need to do 3, 4, and they need to do Redbud. We got it ready to go, okay?
Good deal. That's all I have for this month.
Item number 6, discussion and possible action to declare miscellaneous costumes, scrubs, and T-shirts as surplus property and authorize disposal thereof. Wagner City Public Library.
So move. Second.
Discussion?
Can we donate those to the drama department at the school?
What do you plan on doing with them, Janie?
They're out at the civic center, like, until the city auction.
Oh.
So it's various things. When we helped the EMS and the police department with the active shooter, we had stuff that had been donated, given, that we had brought in and created, and then some of the costumes where they wore out, we'll replace them. So they're out at the civic center upstairs waiting for the city auction.
Anything else? Any more further discussion? Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action, Police Department, to authorize Blake Sourjohn to accumulate vacation and sick leave benefits and extend his probation period until completion of the Cleat Academy.
Mr. Sourjohn has been employed with us for 6 months, which is the average probationary period. However, we don't control when they get to go to Cleat. He's getting ready to leave this month to go to Cleat, and it's about 4 months. So instead of extending him 4 months and beyond until he gets certified, we would like to see if we couldn't go ahead and extend him until he graduates, which is a requirement of the position that he holds, but also allow him to, since he's done the 6 months, start accumulating his sick and vacation time.
So made. Second.
I'm sorry.
Larry, Kevin made it, Larry seconded.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Don't ever borrow his flashlight.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Item number 8, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve ordinance number 970, an ordinance amending the zoning code of the city of Wagoner, Oklahoma by amending section 3.13A, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, and declaring an emergency.
Discussion?
Can you explain that to the audience, what this 970 is?
So what that pertains to, and we can take it, Jessica.
So this, takes away the part where it requires the storage buildings to put a concrete or brick perimeter wall around their property, which is not economically feasible for them to build a storage facility in the city. That takes that requirement out and just requires a general fencing requirement.
So we had one that wanted to open up, and they went somewhere else because of this ordinance. We're hoping so, hoping so. So this will allow chain link, wood. You can have everything except razor wire around the top. So,
What's the height requirement on the fence?
6 to 8 foot.
6 feet's kind of short for a.
Is that what you said, Jessica? 6 to 8 foot? I don't know that Van Brunt's is higher than 6, but you got to think at his. He built his where his storage buildings are as walls.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
you have a gate in the front of it, but I don't think that gate's very tall.
No, it's not. Yeah, just wondering.
This just, opens it up where I couldn't imagine what it'd cost to build a 10-foot wall concrete around.
Oh.
Yeah.
So made. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Roden.
No.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 9, discussion and possible action to declare ordinance number 970 an emergency.
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Item number 10, discussion and possible action to approve the appointment of Beth Johnson, Director of Fields, and Haley North, Co-Director of Fields, and to authorize them to oversee the baseball/softball practice schedule and use of fields for games/practices on baseball/softball fields in Wagoner Parks in accordance with the plan posted on the City of Wagoner website at www.widenerok.org/online-tools/download forms and documents.
So Beth is here, and what this is it seems like every year since the beginning of our fields, it's been first come, first serve, and baseball season, softball season started up, started getting a lot of phone calls, people, well, I'm gonna fight that guy if he pops off, and so this kind of gives it some structure. Beth's a realtor here in town. She's been chomping at the bit to do something for Wagner. We kind of stole Coweta's plan. This is how they do it. We were going to try to do something else, but when somebody's already invented the wheel, why try to make another? So I believe in here there's a, did you include that, Rhonda?
Yes.
Yeah, the spreadsheet and everything.
Is this a paid position or a volunteer?
No, this is pure volunteer.
And I had a couple of questions.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
This is for the scheduling, so that, just to be clear, so that the league that's here in Wagner, they take precedence over the game days, right? So, because there's basically I'm no longer over the league anymore, but I've been a part of it for the last 3, 4. I don't even know how long it's been, but we're interleagued with like about 12 to 13 different towns. So I want to make sure that they pretty much schedule majority of the 8U, 10U, 12U games. So if they say that, you know, fields 1 and 2 down here, therefore they're playing 12U game on field 2 on a Tuesday, whatever that date is, we got to make sure that those are, that they're, I guess, allocated for them, because obviously a game should supersede a.
Beth, why don't you talk? Because she did a lot of work on this, and so I believe fields 1 and 2 will be just exactly for the league.
Okay.
1 and 2 will be strictly for league, and
Okay,
then
that's just that. Okay.
3 and 4
Can be
and 5
practice.
will be anyone that wants to sign up and use their license.
Okay. Well, that
So we were trying to figure out a way, because we didn't feel like it was fair that the league paid the maintenance and then everybody could use that field and tear it up. So they really just maintain 1 and 2, it sounds like, so we're just gonna let them have 1 and 2 only.
Copy. Okay. So
If there's a situation where we need a third field for a game, then it's available and it will be marked off on the calendar.
Okay. All right. That makes sense, and it, just being honest, it makes me happier about it, because of the fact that I want to make sure that, you know, the teams here, the league, make sure they have, you know, fields to play on, and I have to worry about the other stuff. So 3, 4, and 5. So I know that there will be some times where field 1 and 2 are taken up by games, and there'll be some other teams that are not playing, league teams that are not playing that day. Are they still able to play or practice on 2, 3, or 3, 4, and 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But this is only to have a dedicated time, so that
Copy.
there's not 2 teams showing up at the field at the
Right.
same time, and then one has to go home because they weren't there.
And if somebody doesn't schedule up, let's say, you know, 3:30's open, 3:30 to 5, then it falls back to first come, first serve.
And then let's hear one more thing. The 3, 4, and 5. So maintenance, field maintenance on that. It's who's going to do that?
So the city mows.
What about because in previous years, literally we'd done 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then obviously I think, just being honest, the 4 got kind of, you know, when you only have 1 or 2 people working on it, then 4 kind of got pushed to the back burner because the fact that we utilized 3, 1, 2, and 3. So
Beth talked to Sam, and they were supposed to have volunteers coming to do.
That they were gonna, 3 and 4 were supposed to be prepared last week, so if they're not prepared, then
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but that's what she told me, because I had someone else willing to do it, and she said, no, we're taking care of it.
But we're not going to do, you know, extra maintenance. We'll just continue to just mow.
Okay. No, that's fine, because I know it's unfortunate, but it's hard to get volunteers. I think I've done field days and put it out there and only had 2 people show up, you know, and you have 100 kids on the league, and you don't have very many people that want to help volunteer and get things done. So as long as we, like I said, as long as we got something squared away on that, and the other fields are be hopefully maintained or whatnot for safe.
And I believe, you know, I had several people reach out to me and say that they would take care of Redbird.
Yeah, well, and they usually do. I know there's been over the years, there's been like a dedicated team that no one goes over there to Redbud, and it's only one team, so they'll do the whole field and they'll just utilize it for the year and all that stuff. So as long as it's being taken care of, then I'm good with it. So
I should do the mowing on Red Bud for back when the grandsons were playing.
right. I mean, just kind of.
The city put that nice fence up, but yeah, I haul my mower down there and we knock it out. Turned out to be a nice field.
It gives it some structure, you know, I mean, Kelly even, I brought Kelly, Kenneth, Dwayne, we looked at this from several different angles, and Beth and Haley, I mean, they talked to Quita, Fort Gibson, several areas. Kelly even ran into an instance one time when, a long time ago, with the first come, first serve, they had games scheduled down there at Maple Park, and somebody was practicing a different team, and really, you cannot make them leave.
No, it's public.
And so, luckily, the guy was a nice coach, and he said, "Oh, I didn't know," and they left and let them have their games. But
Answer my question. So,
is there gonna be
else?
like a poster up or something? You know.
I think.
Be posted.
Yeah, because I was
So
wondering.
they'll sign up on Friday, we'll schedule it, put everything on the calendar, and then post it, and they'll all be at the fields too.
Okay.
So if someone does show up and they wanna have a sandwich out in the middle of the baseball field, because they can, because it's a park, then they'll see that there's a practice that's coming.
Okay, good.
There is an information sheet with that information and the schedule it's in your packet though, so yeah.
I have extra copies if anyone else needs them.
Any further questions, discussions, entertain a motion?
So made. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Thanks, Beth. Appreciate it.
Item number 11, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Wagoner and the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics for airfield pavement crack repair and seal costs at Hefner Easley Airport.
This is a grant that we partnered with the Oklahoma Aeronautics and Aerospace Commission. It's a 955, so our part's only 5%. So our part is $6,990.01, and the department's cost is $132,810.29 for very needed repairs to our airport runway.
Wasn't there? Didn't we have something like that? A grant or something like that? What about a year or so ago to repair
Taxiway.
taxiway? Okay, there's a taxiway. Not the. Yes. Okay. Good.
I'll make that motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion and second. Please call the roll.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Item number 12, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve the citizen participation plan for the proposed CDBG Community Revitalization Project.
Yeah, come on, Scott.
How we doing?
Good.
I apologize if some of you guys heard my spiel before. This particular agenda item, it has to do, we had the public hearing earlier. It essentially is one of the requirements that's part of the Department of Commerce, their CDBG program. It's essentially, I'm sure it's there in your packet, just kind of lays out what the
Hey, hold on real quick, Scott. Can we give him the mic?
Sure.
Thank you.
and it was brought to my attention earlier. I'm the one that filled out the form. It's kind of a kind of a autofill form on Commerce's website. The title at the top says CDBG REAP. It should say CDBG CR. That's my mistake and my apology for that. But the rest of it should be correct. Essentially just kind of lays out what the citizen participation plan is for this particular grant. Includes, of course, the public hearing tonight. There are also means there to, if people have questions or concerns, they can, I believe the city's phone number's in there to contact somebody. Also, throughout the process, there'll be other hearings and meetings, and assuming that the grant is awarded, then the grant administrator, whoever that was, if it's us, when we do those types of grants, we are typically, we come to each of the meetings that involve something with that grant on the agenda and answer any questions along the way. And that generally is several meetings. So I think that's about it for the citizen participation plan. It's just one of the requirements for a CDBG, which is a Department of Commerce grant.
Go on to the next item, Ken. Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve this grant.
Second.
Wright. Yes. Wagoner.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Item number 13, discussion and possible action on first public hearing held at 6:30 p.m. on 3/4/24 at Wagoner City Hall regarding the CDBG CR grant.
So kind of following what I said just in the previous agenda item, we had the 6:30 public hearing, essentially covered the basics of the grant, which it's a CDBG grant. The application deadline, we're working on the application right now. It's for paving streets in the Bollinger edition, I believe is what was selected. There's some, processes and steps that are involved, and part of that is having a first public hearing. Also, like we just said, the community participation plan, and then the next agenda item, which is the resolution. And then there are several other things that we will have to gather and upload with that application. It's just through the Department of Commerce. This particular grant is what they call community revitalization, which covers a variety of things, but one of the common things that towns or entities use it for is for asphalt overlay.
How'd you come to decide what area?
I didn't come to decide. As the person that the kind of the grant administrator or helping with the application, filling out the application, it's basically whatever the towns or cities come to us and say, we'd like to do a grant. We let them know what those grants can be used for, but the town or entity makes that decision on what we're going to apply for.
I'm talking about Bollinger.
So he had a public hearing. Thomas, when they asked earlier, you want to tell Gayla she wasn't here for when.
Those projects used to, you could do a block here, and a block here, and a block here.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. Everything has to connect. And there's 90+ houses in Bollinger Edition, so there's a lot of dead ends and cul-de-sacs. And most of the time when we asphalt roads, we'd like to do the roads, let everybody use 3 roads. And that's a good opportunity to take care of those roads out there for all those people involved.
And like you said, we in fact, I was on the phone with Commerce earlier this afternoon to verify, to make sure, because what we do is when we have a project that a town or entity wants to do, we typically will send that to Commerce they won't give you any kind of pre-approval, but they will let you know if it's a viable project. And so they looked at two maps. One of them was Bollinger, and one of them was Bollinger with some side streets that were real close that they wanted to add on to that, and they said, no, you couldn't do that. It has to be one project only. So we did, that's why we had to confine it just to that area.
Any other questions?
Do we need to actually, we should note this?
Yeah, I don't think any action has to be taken on that particular one.
Well, could we note in the minutes that the hearing was held, so the minutes will reflect?
Right.
Item number 14, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve resolution number 756, a resolution authorizing the city of Wagoner to make application for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Community Revitalization Program.
And essentially all kind of the part of the same process. It's just one of the steps that they requires to have an actual resolution passed by a governing board to basically say, yes, we want to go ahead and proceed with the application. Now, I was explaining earlier, this is a very competitive grant. In fact, I wasn't aware how competitive until a conversation I had this afternoon. There's a lot of entities out there vying for that same money. So there's no guarantee that you get the grant, but there's a better chance when you meet all the requirements, and so we try to make sure that happens, but there's certainly no guarantee. But this is just for basically the application process, just to get started. The deadline is the end of March. There's several things, as I said before, and in the public hearing, there's several steps that have to be taken. One of the things is if the resolution is approved and we move forward, we'll have to survey those folks that live out there in Bollinger. It's a real simple, I will say that, if anybody asks, and we'll, assuming everything goes forward, at some point we'll have to have a conversation about how to get that survey done. But there's two questions that they will ask. One, how many people live in the household? And two, based on that number, if you're above or below a certain income guideline. Okay, and we'll have we have a chart and numbers we have to use. Nobody's going to ask any other personal information. We're not doing this, is not the census or anything like that. Those are the only two questions that will be asked. How many people live there, and then how, what the income, if it's above or below. Because every project that the Department of Commerce does has to meet an LMI threshold, which is 51% or better. And I apologize for using acronyms. Low to moderate income is what that stands for. No problem. Now, I will say, I'd like to add one thing. I work at EODD, Eastern Oklahoma Development District. I work on a lot of the grants there, but I'm also the executive director. I'm more than happy to answer any question anytime that I can. If somebody has a question about a grant or the grant process or anything like that, you're more than happy. You're welcome to call our office, and if I can, I'll certainly answer any questions that anybody might have about this grant or any other grant or how that process works. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
yeah.
Motion, Ken? Entertain motion, discussion?
So made.
Second.
Motion second, please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Brody,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys have a good evening. Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 15, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice number WAG-23-06-01. Downtown storm sewer replacement
ahead, Dale.
You bet. Well, council, what this is we've, I think everybody knows, we've been working on phase one, the drainage down Main Street. This is phase two part of it. We're trying to take water and collect water from Cherokee and Cassidy and get it down to the creek. Okay, so we're into the design stage. It's been very, very challenging to get the pipes in there and get them down there, but I'm gonna say we're probably about 80% complete with the design. This is just a progressive invoice for 50%.
Questions? Entertain a motion.
Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 16, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve pay application number 1 for WAG-23-08 Yorkshire Street improvements from Envision Civil Contractors in the amount of $74,388.89 per recommendation from Infrastructure Solutions Group, LLC, Consulting Engineers.
Council, this is the contractor that's working on Yorkshire. It's a concrete street. He's actually got half of it poured and have traffic on it right now. This is, again, just a progressive payment from him. Our recommendation is to approve pay app number 1.
Questions? Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Item number 17, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve change order number 1 for WAG-23-08 Yorkshire Street improvements in the amount of $63,982.50 for recommendation from Infrastructure Solutions Group, LLC, Consulting Engineers.
Council, this is the same project. When we got the concrete off of the base of the street, we determined that the base was not structurally sound enough to put the concrete back on top of it. So what this did is it excavated an additional 6 inches. It put six more inches of rock and some fabric underneath it to support the concrete. This is for the whole road. Just let you know, we don't think half the road will require it. So if that's the case, we'll come back with a deduct. Okay, but for right now, we want to make sure we keep the contractor working.
Questions? Entertain a motion.
Moved. Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice WAG-23-08-02 Yorkshire Street improvements in the amount of $10,760 from Infrastructure Solutions Group, LLC, Consulting Engineers.
Same project. We actually have an inspector on site as part of this fee, along with the construction management, which is my time to review pay apps, any issues or anything else we have.
Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 19, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice number WAG-23-05A-04, 2023 street rehabilitation in the amount of $5,814.37 from Infrastructure Solutions Group, LLC, Consulting Engineers.
This project is a 2023 street rehabilitation project. I'm sure everybody's noticed some of the streets in towns have been overlaid, milled and overlaid, some of them. This is just a progressive invoice from us to continue that. Just let everybody know the contractor's about 99% complete. We're going to try to schedule a final inspection of those projects out.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 20, discussion and possible action to enter into a professional landscape architectural services agreement with R.L. Shears Company, P.C., Landscape Architects for the preparation of conceptual drawings, cost estimate, and grant application for Transportation Alternatives Program funding through the 2024 ODOT funding cycle for Phase 3 of the Downtown Streetscape Project.
This is just a proposal from R.L. Shears, who's done our other two TAP projects, to continue with our streetscape phase 3, which is Main Street going north, to continue with what our downtown conceptual plans.
Questions?
Do we have an engineer for that, or do we need one for that?
This is, so if we get selected for the TAP grant, then we'll go into professional services, so we'll interview the designers and engineers at that point, but this is just for the application part of phase 3.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second. Larry and Higginbottom.
Higginbottom, thank you. They've kind of ran together. Abernathy.
Yes.
Leonard.
No.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 21, discussion and possible action to ratify the appointment of John Chandler as board member of the City of Wagoner Economic Development Authority.
I mean, do we really need discussion on that?
So made. Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Who's second?
Who's second?
Roden.
Stephen did.
Okay. I didn't know they were in harmony.
Okay.
Always.
Good. Sampson.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 22, discussion and possible action to ratify the appointment of Chris Luna as board member of the City of Wagoner Economic Development Authority.
So made. Second.
Jimmy, let's shake it.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
I sort of had more than one. Okay.
All right, it was, Jimmy beat him barely. Told Luna it was like signing Mickey Mantle and his ball boy.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Item number 23, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve a work order for engineering for pavilions to be located at Dunbar Park and Lincoln Park and sidewalks at Lincoln Park with Infrastructure Solutions Group LLC consulting engineers in the amount of $5,000.
So this, we'd kind of looked into this before with the pavilion at Lincoln Park. We're trying to get the Cherokees to do that. They don't offer this. Dale is going to work with us. He's going to do pavilion at Lincoln, Dunbar, and the sidewalks at Lincoln. So
So do we not get any other estimates for this, or are we just going with this infrastructure?
I believe Tanya reached out to someone else too. Yeah.
So infrastructure is cheaper, or
They were.
they were, and they are guaranteed to do the pavilion and the sidewalks?
Both pavilions
And
and the
sidewalks.
sidewalk. Yeah.
Is there an invoice somewhere?
Go ahead, Dale.
There's actually there should be a work order in your packet.
It wasn't in your package.
It wasn't in the package.
It wasn't in the package.
We didn't get it till today.
She got
When
one.
when we first discussed this was for the pavilion at Lincoln Park only, and the city came back to me and said, hey, will you help us with Dunbar? And I said, fine. And we also put the sidewalks in at Lincoln. This does not include any geotech or survey that has to go on there, and that's in the work order. But it will include all of the engineering and bidding. Not get the fee the same. Help out the city.
You gonna do the survey for you then?
I can't do that. I don't have the license.
I was trying.
Can't blame her for asking.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second,
Okay,
please. Larry made the motion, Jimmy seconded it.
Okay. Sorry.
You're fine. Call the roll, please.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sorry, missed you. I wasn't gonna let him. Item number 24, discussion and possible action, approval of State Auditor's Office to perform a citywide forensic audit.
So this kind of had some concerns come up, and me and Ken and Dwayne and Lori met, and Dwayne kind of said, he so if there's that many concerns, why don't we just go ahead and budget this money and do it? I think he wanted me to wait till budget, but the state is out a year, so I figured we go ahead and get on the list and get the ball rolling.
What are the objectives for this audit?
So I believe with the forensic audit, they start out with 10 items, and it could spread, it could be more.
What are those items?
Don't know yet.
'Cause I spoke with the auditor's office today, and they said that they need clear-cut objectives from us before we can.
So when I spoke with them, they said that they would kind of sit down and talk with us over those.
Okay. You know how much this will cost?
High ballpark, 80,000.
It's cheaper than the bluegrass.
Well, I'm not gonna do the bluegrass, so that saves us 60
Where
grand.
do you plan on getting $80,000?
Well, there's $60,000 for the bluegrass that I'm not gonna redo, so there's 60,000 of it.
I was gonna say, what do we normally pay on our audits every year? About up to 30? thousand or something like that?
Well, we just approved $27,500 for Hood and Associates to do an audit last council meeting.
Well, I was gonna say, but this
That-
right here is
that
more-
they're currently in the middle of doing.
Well, this role more is of a forensics audit.
Yeah, that's not a forensic.
$150 to $300 an hour. I mean, it
That,
varies.
that's just a basic audit. That's not forensic.
I'd like to see our objectives. You know, what we hope to accomplish.
Well, I think the city of Wagner would like transparency.
I think we have transparency.
Don't stall. It's time.
I would say this, you know.
I think we need to put our objectives in the agenda.
Well, I was gonna say, I would say this, you know, my time in the military, you know, the AG came through and basically did an audit or an inspection. So they went through a whole list of everything. They didn't tell you what you did right, they tell you what you did wrong. So you can correct those things and then move on. And so I think it's just basically it's the same thing where and it's usually every 4 years from my understanding. So again, it's just another way to make sure if there's little bitty things that can be corrected, then we can get them done and then we move on. And so I don't think it's more, I think some people may think it's, you know, trying to, you know, bombard the city or trying to do something on that aspect of it, but it's just more of just having a clear, sound transparency on every side of it, and we move on. So I don't think it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. We do audits every year, so this right here is
Isn't that why we're paying Hood and Associates?
It's a different kind of audit.
Different type of
different.
audit.
And that's essentially just like when you an audit is kind of like when you do your taxes. You pretty much give them this is what, hey, how can you, this is what I have, and then make sure the IRS makes sure that I did everything right. That's essentially what it is.
Until and see what.
Well, right now, right now.
The state's a year out.
Year out, so.
This is getting us on the list.
It's not a bad thing. Honestly, I think we should have all municipalities should have an audit at least every 10 years, just so you know if you're doing everything right and.
Being transparent.
It's just.
I mean, this. Obviously, when you probably campaigned, you probably heard a lot of people say they wanted a state audit. I know I did, and this will just clear the air.
Just cross our T's and dot
I
our
just don't
I's.
see the need in spending taxpayer money on.
There's a lot of taxpayers that would
$80,000
completely, totally agree with you. I think this might be some of the best taxpayers' dollars we've ever spent.
Exactly. I think so too. I mean, we spend a lot of money on other things, and this is more important to the citizens. This is important for the people that voted you in. That's why we should accommodate them and give them what they want, you know, and so they won't be questioning us on what we're doing.
I think when AJ left and you came in, it should have been done immediately. But since it wasn't, this is a good deal. That's my opinion.
We can't hear you.
She said that when AJ left, it should have been done then. It's a good thing to do it now. That's what she said.
Any further discussion, entertain a motion?
I make that motion to approve it.
Second it.
Gayla and Brenda, call the roll.
Abernathy. Higginbottom.
No.
Butler.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Roden.
No.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 25 is unscheduled public appearances.
First, we have Alan Branch. Oh, here, pass that around.
I don't think I need my voice is loud.
Give him my. It's for the recording.
Right. Hello, y'all. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the audit. I feel the same as Councilman Kevin. I don't think we need this audit done by the state. I think it's a bad deal. And spending taxpayer funds, taxpayer money this way is not right. like you said, $80,000, we could be spending it a different way. Instead of letting the state come into our city and going through our books and telling us what we can and can't do, we shouldn't be doing that. Thank you.
Go right ahead.
And it's not, I'm a person that I don't like government overreach on a lot of things. I mean, obviously, I understand what you're saying, but this right here is there's other municipalities that have actually asked for these audits. And so basically what it's there to do is say, okay, you've allocated this money for this right here, but you did it the wrong way. So how about you fix those problems? Like I said, something is very simple. You fix those problems, so then later on here in 10 years we have another audit that at least you fixed them, you corrected them. And it's not, and then when it comes down to taxpayer dollars, we're up here, we're on this council for a reason. We're supposed to be good stewards of our taxpayer dollars. And if we allow or we continue to do things every single year and do an audit, or I'm sorry, do our audit every year and nothing has changed, and then what would you feel? How would you feel if we do this audit and something comes up that there was some things that need to be changed, or we did something wrong? So then that means that we've at least corrected the situation or issue now. So then people that are in those positions can say, okay, well, we got to do better because they found this, they found A, B, C, D, and now we got to fix these things. So I think it is very good that we are doing things to try to make sure that we're showing transparency. On top of that we're doing our jobs right. So if we're doing something wrong, then you know what? I'm gonna say, okay, well, I messed up. I need to fix it. Let's move on. It's not a bad thing that we're using $80,000 or whatever, because we don't even know how much it's gonna be, because after those 10 objectives are met, if there's more, then they keep digging. If there's more, they keep digging. So it can go from 30,000 to 80,000, could be more. But at the end of the day, if we resolve some issues and we get something done, then we can move forward.
Well, that's the city council's job, is to solve the problems,
Well,
not let a state come in and
that's why
tell you where you're wrong.
I promise you, I don't like government overreach as more than anyone else. But this right here, it takes out of our hands. It allows the state to do what they need to do, and then we move on. So I get what you're saying. I don't. But it just basically shows that we, as a council, we're doing the right thing for our community, and we're setting a standard that, again, if there's things that are wrong, we correct it and we move forward.
Well, there is also a lot of transparency already. Anybody can walk into the office any day of the week and fill out a form and get all the paperwork they want. There's transparency right there. No, you can.
Hey, you're addressing really me.
No.
Well, I appreciate you. Like I said, I definitely understand what you're saying, but there's like I said, I wish we can have an audit every 10 years, and I don't think, or even a change of power. I mean, if it's 8 years, if it's 4 years, it's because again, you know, it's something that I think we need to do, and it's done. So I appreciate everyone that.
Appreciate it, Alan.
Yeah.
I'll leave it up there. There's more. Next is Tanya Sappington.
That's scary. My name's Tanya Sappington. I'm with the Wagner Parks Committee. I did want to say that they said earlier our border has come in. I've been told by the company it's all the border that we ordered. Our Discovery Center's due to ship next week. We're talking with Cherokee Nation. They're going to get us some volunteers to help put that together so that we don't have to pay more money, because I don't know if you know or not, but our park budget is, we have no money. Your town is broke. We have no money. In talking about the parks, I wanted to address these grants that were just approved to be filed. We had $500,000 in grant money that we could have got, but the city wouldn't help us file for the grant. I don't understand why we're picking and choosing what grants we can file for when our children don't have parks. We don't have a splash pad. We could have had $500,000 splash pad. We don't have it. These sidewalks that we just agreed to pay for engineering, we don't have the money for it yet. I'm applying for a grant. Me. Can't get a map of the park from city planner. So I drew my own hand drawing, and I'm applying for a grant because we cannot get any help, okay? That's unacceptable. Everything needs to change.
Tanya?
Yes.
What grant are you talking about, the $500,000?
The built environment grant that we met here in City Hall last year, And we were told if Dwayne Elam tells me to file that one, I'll file it. Remember that? By Jessica? Remember that?
So that one wasn't filed?
Was not filed for, and neither was the one, I did an open records request this last week, asking if the one, the part of it that she said she was going to file was filed, and I was told no, that one wasn't filed either. So that ball was dropped. Healthy Living, T-set grants, Tobacco Stops With Me, we could have had $40,000 filed last fall. Rhonda Hash told the mayor, I'm working to get us ready to file in March. Now she says she didn't have that conversation. I cannot get any word. My open records request, I cannot get any information on who is supposed to be filing that grant, what they're doing to get the town ready to be T-set ready, or anything. So no, there is not transparency. Some people can get answered, but some people cannot.
To clarify it, I'm sorry. Is that the one that it was like 100,000 and 500,000? You can get it to 500,000 every.
The built one was half of it. You could get $500,000 to do a shovel-ready project.
Right.
Or you could file for $150,000 to do design.
Yeah.
I found out we could have filed for both of those,
Right.
even though we were told that you could not. We could have filed for both of those grants at the same time, but unfortunately, we didn't file for any of them. So, that being said, that's why we really need change in this town. Transparency, a forensic audit. We've got to start watching how we spend our money. The town is broke. They spend every dime they can on everything. I guarantee you, if we did a inventory of all the file folders in every office in the city, we would have 1 million file folders. And there are so many people that can go on Amazon or to Sadler or this and that and get themselves file folders. When I ran the company, I knew how many file folders we had in the closet. Somebody has to tighten our budget because we don't have any money. If we were prior, they could have gold-plated file folders if they wanted to, but we don't have any money. And that's got to change, and it's got to change with an audit to see where our money bleed is, to see if we're doing things right. This agenda is in violation of the Open Meetings Act. Every single line item on this is supposed to explain exactly what they're doing to the public. All of it. That block grant should have said it's for asphalts for Bollinger. It should have said it right here. These manual warrants should say what they're paying in those line items. The department reports, it should say, oh, well, Kelly Groom, sorry for using an example, is going to talk about how we're going to buy a fire truck so that you citizens, if you're interested, you can look at the agenda and come down here if you want to come down here and see what's going on. If it doesn't say it on these papers, you don't know because there's nothing out there. You're only being told what they're choosing to tell you, okay? The mayor's hands were tied last August when Mr. Hicks told him he didn't have the power to veto a resolution. State law, city ordinance and state law says he can veto an ordinance or a resolution. A resolution is any decision you guys make, any of them. Any agenda item is a resolution. That's where you've been misled. He can veto an ordinance or a resolution. That means any decision that's been voted on since last August. His hands were handcuffed, which means that there could have been a different result if he'd been advised correctly and if they had been advised correctly. They cannot do their job if they are not advised correctly. Now, that being said, I've read every page of the city ordinances until I'm cross-eyed. That's what I do on a Saturday night because I've got a great life. But I've read Title 11, Cities and Towns. There's your state law. You can Google it. You can hit Control F and find anything you want.
Control it.
It is your responsibility to know the law. It's your responsibility to know the Open Meetings Act. It's your responsibility to know what you're supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing it. But if you're not advised correctly, what are you going to do? What you're going to do is you're going to have money wasted, no oversight on spending, no checks and balances, none. And then when people get upset because, oh, you're just so hateful and you just must not like that person, this is your government. This is their money. This is their money. You have to start asking questions. You have to start asking them now. You do. Where's the Streetscape 2 file and the Dunbar Park file? Last I asked about them, they couldn't lay their hands on them because I'm pretty sure they're still in AJ's office. Have we signed those grant documents? Do we have the $600,000 in matching funds we need for Streetscape 2, which is South Main, and Dunbar Park, which is our sidewalks for Casey's? Okay? We haven't done those grants. Why are we applying for another one? We don't have $600,000 to spend on those, and we're going to apply for another one for North Main? Do we need to keep filing? Do we need to pull an AJ and keep filing for grants so that we can roll that money into the last one? Is that what we're going to do? I can't wait to see this audit, to see just all these decisions that have been made when the mayor's hands were tied, and all these grants that they've rolled money and rolled money and rolled money. And, you know, that raise grant's supposed to finish that stormwater work. Where's it? Where's it at? You cannot keep making these decisions when past things haven't been handled. You're broke. You don't have any money. They want to file for another TAP grant. It's going to require a match. $184,000 for Dunbar, $400,000 for Streetscape 2. No in-kind work, cash money, out of the budget. Where's it going to come from? Well, you know where it's going to have to come from? Department budget cuts. Or you stop wasting money on the front end because you lose it on the back. And that's what I'm going to say. It's time for transparency. It's time to slow down and learn every single thing you're supposed to know. And if you don't know, you ask someone competent. That's what you do. This audit is not the only thing that's been done. There's been bar complaints. The Attorney General's been contacted. The Governor's office has been contacted. The state auditor is talked to every single day. This is a serious deal. You guys may think if I screw up it's only a misdemeanor. Not when the feds come. That's what I'm saying. You gotta watch what you've been advised at before, because this is not just their money. This is your butts. It's your decisions you're making for your city, and it's time to start making better decisions. And that engineering for the pavilions and the sidewalks that came in at the very last minute, unacceptable. Their board packets don't have in it what they need at all, at all. Green Country Wildlife, our local pest control asked for bid packets, didn't get them. I confirmed that today. You've got to start watching what they're doing. If it's not in your board packet, don't vote it. If it's not in your board packet, don't vote it. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you got 400 pages, don't go fishing that morning. Stay home and read your board packet, all right? If you don't have an invoice, somebody better be on speed dial and on call for the weekend, because that's the only time you have to look at it. Call them and say, I need all these invoices now. Or don't approve that crap. This is their money. And it's time to start watching every penny. It's not your money, it's theirs. And they don't have any. They're broke.
Next up is Mr. Scott Yandell.
Good evening, everybody. I won't take a lot of time. I just wanted to thank the members of council for voting to pass audit. It has me very excited. I'm anxiously awaiting to see what is found out of that. But, you know, I wanted to echo what Tanya said. There's definitely some changes that are needed here. We need transparency. There is not the ability, Alan, for me to walk in and even get a simple org chart. I've been waiting over 3 weeks for that. I've asked for just what I would call table stake documents, org chart, department counts, budgets. Haven't gotten any of it officially. I've had to go, you know, through other ways to obtain the data. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, it won't take a lot of time. I'm super excited. It's where we're going from a city, because it's about to get a lot better. Thank you.
You want to pass that mic back, Stephen?
Item number 26 is departmental reports.
Jimmy, here somewhere.
Good evening, Mayor, councilors.
Good evening.
You have the hospital report in your packet, so if you have any questions about that, I'd be glad to try to answer that.
It's out.
Microphone.
It's out.
Is it out?
It's back.
Oh, got it back?
Talk loud.
Thank you. Is that better? Okay. Kind of got a soft voice, so it doesn't carry when my back's to you, too. Yeah, so if you have any questions on the hospital report, I'll be glad to try to answer those. Otherwise, I've got a couple of 3 things briefly I wanted to mention. I have a guest I'd like to introduce tonight as well. So the first thing, just a quick update on COVID. It kind of waxes and wanes. We have increase in transmission rates one week and decreasing the next. And so this week, we're officially back in the green, which is a good thing. However, the last couple of weeks, we've been in the yellow. So we've not migrated up to the red category, so that's a good thing. That's when we have to kind of lock the facility down again. So green means pretty much business as normal. So I wanted to mention that. The other thing that I just wanted to mention, we're continuing to analyze this. I know you've heard about it in the news media, but the ransomware attack that was done on Change Healthcare is a big thing for healthcare across our country. It's a national issue. We're still in the process of trying to determine what the impact locally is going to be. It is going to affect payers beyond United Healthcare plans. So the short story is that it disrupts those plans' abilities to process and pay healthcare claims. So that means to physicians and to hospitals and just about every healthcare provider that bills a claim in our country. So it's gotten a lot of attention, federally and through Congress and through the states. So we're monitoring it very closely here. We know of one payer that's kind of been affected locally, but they're scrambling to get into place electronic processes where they can process electronically healthcare claims and get those paid timely. So just be aware that that's a big deal, and we're monitoring that very, very closely. I've got some handouts here for you, but before I do that, I wanted to mention also, as most of you know, we've been in the mental health business at our hospital for probably 35 years, doing inpatient behavioral health, and we've now expanded that into the outpatient setting. So we now have outpatient behavioral health services. And so I have a guest with me tonight. This is Andy Massey. He's one of our licensed professional counselors, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about that program while I hand some of these things out. So I've got the hospital newsletter and a flyer about the new behavioral health service. In fact, yours is going to be tucked inside the newsletter. So with that, any questions for me? Okay, I'll turn it over to Andy.
Can you guys hear me okay? Yes. So my name is Andy Massey. I'm a contract therapist through the new Wagner outpatient services. I'm originally from Stillwell, so I've been an LPC over there working with children for about 10 years. So I'm kind of excited to do this venture. But we cover individual, family, marital therapy, as well as doing group therapy classes with parenting, domestic violence, substance abuse, anger management, sexual trauma, stress management, and grief. As well as we're able to do any kind of court mandated alcohol and drug abuse assessments and any kind of anger management. So and through the grant, through August, the services are free. So anyone can come in and get the services that they need. Any questions?
So it's outpatient, right? So your inpatient, would they be able to transition and see them outpatient or whatnot? Okay.
Yeah, this is, it kind of improves that continuum because they may see patients on the outpatient setting that need inpatient services, and then sometimes our inpatients that we're managing could be discharged maybe a day earlier if we had an outpatient setting to send them to. So they'll work hand in glove.
Yeah, I think it's great just for the fact that the most people that come inpatient, they get out, they don't have that transition to have someone to go to, and sometimes just need a couple more days just to get if they're on medication or whatever, it helps out a lot just so they'll have someone to go to and follow up with the next 2 or 3 days.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully they get to go home and
yeah, it'll reduce readmission.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
make sure that they're being compliant with the treatment plan.
Right.
So yeah,
So-
you're spot on.
Good.
well, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Glad to-
We should be. We're all licensed professional counselors.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dwayne, you want to go ahead? Economic development's not here.
Ken, you want me to take the mic?
Yeah, pass it down.
Okay, this, of course, as I spoke on last month, we've been trying to get ahead and get the Casper Stormwater Phase 2 issues designed, ratified, and rectified with some issues. Dale Burt from Infrastructure Solutions talked about that earlier. Some of the challenges, we have lots of utilities down Casper and Church Street, and then even going down into 3rd Street that we've got to deal with. So we're trying to get that project off the ground and moving so we can get going and get that out of the way. We're about a month behind as it is on that project getting started. Another issue I want to address to the council tonight is I had a meeting today at ODOT office in Muskogee at 10:30 with Highway 51 resurfacing with the contractors who is APAC down there. The city will be sending out notification and info as we get more information from ODOT, but the tentative start date right now is 2nd week of April. Their tentative finish date and completion date is the 1st week of May. So I know we've got Moonfest, potentially the May 18th and all that, talked about those issues. So an updated conversation for you guys in the room tonight. That's what the tentative conversation is. I should be expecting something from ODOT in the next week or so, as soon as their contract gives them an actual start date. And as soon as we get that, we will send that out. We'll push it out through our communication conversation, et cetera. So that's good news to me, being a year late and delayed and everything we've dealt with on Highway 51 and Cherokee Street. So I'm excited to hear that conversation, be able to pass it on tonight.
Fred's gonna move Moonfest.
Last I knew, you talked
to
to
him
the
today.
18th. I talked to him last week, so.
He's talking about doing it in September.
Okay. Well, that'll be a different conversation.
What about the putting a drain in front of Lopez, you know, where that water, you know, like?
As they start that project down there, they'll have to work with us in some of that aspect. We will try to do what we're able to do that's already existing from that aspect going forward.
Okay.
So, but I want to give that update to you guys, to know where
Fantastic.
it is and to the community. So,
The housing additions that are going in along, was it Press Light Road?
we
Where
do have some bad news I will address as well, and that's what you're probably hitting. We had a pretty big housing development, the biggest housing development we had come to this.
He's talking about the one on Press Light.
Are you talking about the one on Press Light? There's two of them.
You're talking about the one by Boyd's Welding?
There's two of them.
I
One of them's at a
think
standstill.
I heard one backed out.
We did have one back out. It was a big housing project, the biggest one I've seen in 18 years duration, that backed out in the last 2 weeks. So,
Where was that at?
off of 15th Street, and it's not,
Which one is behind that?
You talking about the one behind the,
15th Street and
the apartments or the one-
15th Street and 280.
I believe it's gonna be by Schwann's, right?
From that standpoint, all the way back to the section
Oh,
line.
okay.
Do we know why they backed out?
Do not have those details, preferably from that aspect. I don't know exactly what all, but I do know they have just decided to back out at this point. So I'll leave it at that. I'll turn it back to you, Mayor.
All right. He turned it off. I
Like he turned it on.
I'll just turn it back on. So.
Item number 27 is adjournment.
So made. Give me a second.
Second.
First it.
I don't know, we all first.
Go, man.
Leonard,
Leonard?
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned, 8:22. I'd like to call the Wagner Public Works Authority regular business meeting March 4th at 8:23.
Item number 1 is approval or correction to the minutes of February the 5th, 2024.
So made. Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Leonard,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Yes.
Sampson. Sorry, let me turn my page. I apologize. Item number 2, approval or denial of claims, WPWA to include numbers 142 through 160, manual warrants, WPWA special events number 75, WPWA capital projects number 45 through 49.
The Christmas celebration advertising, is that the one that was in the little folder? You know,
Radio and television. And printed brochure. Primarily for radio and TV.
I'll make that motion to approve all claims.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Ayla, you're digging. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Wright.
No.
Leonard.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Item number 3 is the chairman's report.
Covered that in my mayor's report.
Thank you. Sorry, I have to get all my
You're
pages
fine.
turned.
You're fine.
Item number 4 is discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice WAG-23-10-01 sewer line extensions North Graham and East Cherokee Street in the amount of $699.92 from Infrastructure Solutions Group LLC Consulting Engineers.
Go ahead, Dale.
This is our invoice. We extended the sewer line on North Graham and Cherokee Street going north for a block, and this also includes the reimbursement fee for the DEQ. We went ahead and paid it when we submitted the plans, and we included it in our invoice.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Stephen, everything okay? Okay. I didn't know if maybe,
It's a church problem.
okay. All right. Making sure.
Item number 5, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice number WAG 24-02-01 sewer line extensions Northeast 3rd Street and North Jefferson Avenue in the amount of $699.92 from Infrastructure Solutions Group LLC Consulting Engineers.
Board, this was also a sewer extension starting off at 3rd and Jefferson, going south. We got to go with the one sewer line up that road, we needed another sewer line. Again, it includes the DEQ reimbursement fee.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Second.
Have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Wright.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 6, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve invoice WAG 23-03-01. That is a typo on my part. That should be 24-03-01. Sewer line extensions Northeast 12th and North Jefferson Avenue in the amount of $699.92 from Infrastructure Solutions Group LLC Consulting Engineers.
discussion? Entertain a motion?
I'll make that motion.
One of y'all give me a second.
Second.
Was that Stephen?
Huh?
Was it Stephen, or was it
Jimmy and
Jimmy?
myself.
Jimmy and Anthony second.
Sorry, I had my head down.
No, you're fine. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Dale.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action, approval of the state auditor's office to perform a citywide state audit. That should say forensic.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Entertain a motion, or I'm sorry, we call the roll.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
No.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Roden,
No.
Leonard,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 8, discussion and possible action to enter into an agreement with Hans Pyrotechnics to provide a fireworks display in the city of Wagoner.
Is this the one did last year?
Yeah.
Just
So,
the one that messed up?
and, I believe they did
Yeah.
mess up,
They-
same one, yes, but they credited
They
us.
messed
credited
up
us that
year
one.
before last.
Yeah,
The year
yeah,
before
yeah,
last.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Credited
it.
But they did credit
us
us.
for
And,
last year.
and I believe we have a price, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There, it should be in their packet, yes.
19 something.
What is it, 19 something?
But we pay half now and then half on the 4th, right? Or
correct.
after completion.
19,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we paying $20,000 for?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second, please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Roden,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 9 is unscheduled public appearances.
There were none.
Item number 10 is departmental reports.
Sorry. I believe so.
I think it is. Yeah, it's on. This month's been busy in the public works aspect of it. Thankfully, we've had the last couple of weeks has not been much rainfall. We did have a mechanical failure at our wastewater plant with the big clarifier going down with one of our worm gears. We've been in the motion of getting that and supply chain getting it back, but we have got that back in place. It is up and running, back in service and going. No issues we had of anything other than that was just one clarifier down at our wastewater treatment plant. This last, I think it's this last week and a half, Del Burke, Infrastructure Solutions, and myself went to Cherokee Nation. We sat down with them as well to talk about some dollars and grant monies that they had, as well as appropriations. The unfortunate part of it is, we're just not in the boundary of Cherokee Nation. It's to the east of us. We're more in the creek conversation, and it's tough for us to get a lot of funding from that aspect, especially with the Cherokee Nation. But our water plant is in the Cherokee Nation. And we did talk and discuss about some issues out there with the ponds, that we've got to do some cleaning and dredging out every so many years we need to do that for the process of the water plant, as well as some other items we're working on and moving forward with. So we're in the process of doing that and moving that forward with the water plant as well. So
I had a question on the, was it in last year, something like that we had, it was like some microbial company that can put some stuff in the,
we looked into that conversation, yes, when we was going through the budget process and looking at that. The dollar weighted value to that was not what we was comfortable recommending to you guys to approve to spend. So we've kind of shelved that. We may look at that again this year, but in regards to that aspect versus the removal of it is not in the same weighted range of price. So, but that's 2 updates on your plants and what we've got going forward and things moving. We have lots of issues taking place in the public works, water leaks. There's been a lot of 2-inch three-quarter line leaks that the water distribution has been dealing with. Also taking a lead service line inventory that we are in the process of trying to get accomplished for EPA requirements by this coming fall of next year, and those likes. So lots of departments got lots of things going on, and we're just going to get busier as we get more into construction summer, as things come along, as we can get through the spring and the weather requirements. So that's my report from Public Works.
Thank you, sir.
Next item is adjournment.
Do a second. Call the
Wright.
roll.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Meeting adjourned, 8:34. Here.
Hey, will you? How you doing? No, you're not. Take your time.